Welcome to our second show about navigating the college admissions process during COVID-19. I'm Karen Cruz, the Supervisor of School Counseling for MCPS. As rising seniors, I know you and your families have many questions surrounding the college admissions process during this time. Our first show covered many questions you had about grading and reporting, GPAs, SATs and ACTs, AP testing, how colleges look at a student's academic picture, college visits, and some basics about the application process. To watch that first show online, go to www.montgomeryschoolsmd.org and search Class of 2021. Today's show will focus on financial aid, the FAFSA, and local college pathways. Many of you have sent in questions, and to help me answer your questions, I am delighted to welcome a panel of experts to this virtual talk show. I want to take a moment to do a quick round of introductions. Panelists, give a wave as I introduce you. First, Jennifer Riehl, Senior Recruitment Coordinator from the universities at Shady Grove. Dr. Genevieve Floyd, Supervisor of Career and Postsecondary Partnerships, MCPS. Rhonda McLauren-Scott, Financial Outreach Coordinator, Montgomery College. Akima Rogers, Director of Dual Enrollment, Montgomery College. Nguyen, Recruiter, Montgomery College. All right, let's start answering questions. Here is one many people are asking about, AP exams. I'm going to take a moment to answer some of the questions that have come up about AP exams. We've received many questions, and I want you to know that many students are taking APs this spring, and they are concerned about how they will be administered, with questions about cheating, being accused of cheating, and how colleges will look at AP results. To address these questions, I want you to know that we understand this is an unprecedented time in education. The decision was made to give the test after College Board completed a survey of 18,000 AP enrollees and found 91% wanted the test. The decision was made to create the exam in an online format. As usual, students' work will be scored by AP's network of college faculty and AP teachers and will be reported on a 1 to 5 scale. AP anticipates releasing scores as close to the usual July timeframe as possible. Another question that's come up is about how do you decide what colleges to apply to? Well, we want you to know that you can contact your college and career information coordinator at your high school, who will be able to show you how to start a college search using Naviance and collegeboard.org. You can also contact your school counselor. All right, now we have some questions about MCPS dual enrollment. First question, what is dual enrollment and what are the benefits to students? I want to see if Dr. Floyd, are you able to provide us with some information about dual enrollment and why is it beneficial for our students to enroll?
Yes, dual enrollment is a term used to describe the option of allowing students to simultaneously enroll in a post-secondary institution and a secondary institution. So students are taking college courses that count for both college credit and high school credit, unless they opt out of having that credit placed on their high school transcript. As far as benefits goes, there are several. Primarily, students are able to get a jump start on their college education. They save time on earning a college or a high school diploma as well as a college degree. They save money as well on their college education. And they become acclimated, if you will, to the college going experience, to the college environment, to the instructional expectations of professors. They basically are getting an early start and able to finish ahead of their peers who are also going to college.
Great. You also mentioned that students could choose not to have credit on their transcript. Why would a student choose not to have credit on the high school transcript?
Great question. All universities within the University System of Maryland, and many colleges and universities around the country, they accept the college credit if it's on the high school transcript. However, there are some which do not. So students are always encouraged to investigate the college of interest, to learn about the dual enrollment policy of that institution. And if the institution they plan to attend does not give credit for college courses, if it's on the high school transcript, then they can opt out of having that credit placed on the transcript. But this is a decision that the student has to make before they enroll in the course.
Great, thank you. Another question about dual enrollment came up about students wanted to know just how many courses can they take during a semester under dual enrollment? Mr. Rogers, can you provide us with that question, that answer?
Sure. Typically, students would take 1 or 2 courses per semester. However, we do have an opportunity called Jumpstart to College Pathway, in which students may take as many as 4 or 5 courses towards an actual degree pathway. And that's in conjunction with the academic department and with the full support of the student's high school.
Great. So another question. Do I have to take the SAT to take a college course at MC if interested in dual enrollment?
No, students do not have to take the SAT. The college uses multiple assessments and placement measures to determine appropriate courses, including the SAT as one of them. Currently, students with a 2.75 high school GPA may be placed in college courses without any assessment testing at all.
So, Dr. Floyd, are high school students allowed to take college courses during the school day, or must they take them after school?
Yes, they are allowed to take them during the school day. And in fact, they can take them during the school day, after the school day. They can also take them at their high school campus, on the college campus, online. So they're not limited to taking advantage of the opportunity during the high school day.
Great. I'm looking at a question here from a student that wants to know, what if I want to take a college course at the University of Maryland College Park? May I, or must I only take a college course at Montgomery College? Dr. Floyd, can you address that question?
Certainly. And thank you for the question. Yes, you may take a course at the University of Maryland College Park or any public university in the state of Maryland. However, Montgomery College is the only institution that we have an agreement with for our students. And MC is actually an institution that presents a great value for our students. You mentioned UMCP. You can actually take almost 3 courses at Montgomery College for the price of 1 course at UMCP, transfer all of that credit to UMCP. So earning the credit, transferring the credit, and saving the money. But yes, you certainly can. So I would encourage you to just talk to your counselor about that option and figure out which institution is of value and best fits your needs and your families.
Yeah, I love the idea of saving money, and I'm sure many of our students and parents appreciate that as well. Next question from a student here, really good question about will MC dual enrollment courses be offered on campus this fall? I think this is a question that many of our students and parents are asking in light of the current COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Rogers, can you address that?
Yes, and thank you. MC has a full schedule of courses that are scheduled for the campus for this fall, and we anticipate to eventually open up the campus for students to come and take the courses. However, as we start the semester, all classes will be structured remote learning until the college opens up. And so students would be able to still meet with their professors through Zoom or other modes, but they would not actually come to campus until we've determined that it's safe and appropriate for all students to be there.
Great, thank you. So another popular question is about the gap year, and a lot of students are confused about what does the gap mean. And I have a question here from a student that says, I heard this term, but do not quite understand it. If a student receives a scholarship from a college but decided to take a gap year, will they forfeit that scholarship? Mr. Rogers, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, if they determine that they're going to take a gap year, it's real important that they talk to the institution that they have committed to going to and ensure that they understand what that means for them academically and financially, and including any of their financial aid packets, and that they should get that in writing what their status is as a student. And as well, if they determine they're going to take a gap year, say at a four-year institution, but want to take a couple of courses at Montgomery College, they should also talk with that institution to determine if the courses would transfer and how they transfer, et cetera. So it's important that even if they take a gap year, that they're making some type of progress, either academically or socially or otherwise, so that they're productive during that year.
Okay, another question related to the SAT. Do I have to take the SAT to take a college course at MC if interested in dual enrollment? I know we answered part of that question, but can you just repeat that piece about SAT? Because I'm noticing we have quite a few questions about that. Can you just share again some more information about what students need to do in terms of the SAT? I think some of the questions are coming in because this fall, we aren't really sure what's going to happen with College Board offering SATs. And I think that the other concern is that MCPS typically does an SAT day in the fall. And because we're not offering the SAT day, in the spring, I think a lot of students have questions about that. So are there other options regarding SAT in terms of doing MC and dual enrollment, or does the student have to take the SAT?
Okay, great. And the SAT is one measure that we use. We also use the ACT, and we also have a number of tests that we administer. They're national standardized tests, the AccuPlacer, as well as the ALEX test for math and for chemistry. And before COVID, these were the ways in which we assess students, primarily for placement into courses. Recently, in conjunction with the state and in full support with MCPS, we've also looked at alternate placement measures. And so we actually looked at individual courses that students took in high school. So if a student took Honors English 12, they may be placed at the English 101 /011 level at the college. Or if they took Algebra 2, they may also be able to be placed at the Math 117 level, for example. And so we've expanded that now recently, and it used to be a 3.0 GPA, given these circumstances, and in trying to be more accessible and inclusive to students, we have reduced that to 2.75 GPA. And so we have worked together with many offices within Montgomery College and with MCPS partnership office to ensure that students with some measure of success, whether it's through a GPA or through these traditional assessments, have the opportunity to access the courses that they would typically take in their first or second year of college. And we have some initial data to show that students with the right support will be as successful as other students. And so I encourage students to go to the Montgomery College website if they are interested in finding out if they qualify and what they need to do to be placed into these classes. Great,
thank you so much. So we've had some students and parents ask questions about the MC USG pathway and what are some of the local college options that they have. And so one question here says, If I attend MC, am I prepared to transfer afterwards? And what are some transfer options?
Well, attending MC and being prepared to transfer to the next destination go hand in hand. Montgomery College offers students guidance, counseling, and challenges for students to be successful in their next move. Whether you choose to go out to get a job or to transfer to a four-year institution, the most important thing students can do is trying their best to perform well academically so that they can have more options once they are done with MC. Montgomery College has transfer agreements with many four-year schools regionally, and one of which is USG, with specific pathways to continue and to pursue their higher education locally. So with that, I'd like to bring Jen to talk about USG and MC pathway.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy. Yeah, so some people have heard of USG, but are a little less familiar. So just to give a little background, the university's at Shady Grove is the full name. We refer to it as USG. But we are a full service campus located right in Rockville, Montgomery County. And on our campus, we offer select degrees from 9 different Maryland universities, public universities. So University of Maryland College Park, UMBC, Towson, Salisbury, University of Baltimore, and so on. All of those offer some of their degree programs at the USG campus right in Montgomery County. So the way it works is that students apply to the university offering their chosen degree, but on the application, they select Shady Grove or USG as their campus of choice. So they still are able to get the same professors and the same curriculum, and most importantly, that same exact degree and diploma as if they went to that university's main campus, but they're able to stay local in Montgomery County to earn the degree. I'll delve probably a little bit later. I'm assuming there'll be some questions on why to choose this pathway. So just mentioning our small classes and our personalized services, obviously the convenience, and definitely cost savings, which I'll go into a little bit later, I'm sure. But the other important thing to note about universities at Shady Grove is that while Montgomery College only offers the freshman and sophomore year, essentially the 100 and 200 level courses, USG, the programs on our campus are only offering the 300 and 400 level courses, the junior and senior year. So as you can see, it makes a really nice 4-year plan. So students can actually go to MC intending to transfer to a program at USG afterwards and consider it their 4-year plan. And there's agreements that we have that make that even more seamless. And at the end, like I said, your degree still says the name of that university that offers your degree, whether it's University of Maryland, University of Maryland, Baltimore County, Towson, and so on. Does not say USG on your degree, and it does not say MC on that degree at your bachelor's degree at the end.
Great, thanks, Jen. And you also mentioned the cost savings. So can you talk a little bit about how much money will the local MC USG option save me? I'm seeing that we have some questions from students and parents about that option. Mr. Nguyen, can you share some information about the cost savings?
Sure, yeah. Montgomery College tuition cost for an average full-time student per year is roughly $5,000. And I don't know what it costs in the next institution. And Jen can tell you a little bit about what USG may potentially cost.
Yeah, definitely. So we usually look at this when I talk with high school families about the fact that, like I said, this can be your 4-year plan. So if you're thinking about your various 4-year plans, as you are, that you have after you finish high school, one option, of course, is to go out of state or to a private institution. Without scholarships, that can often cost you for 4 years well over $100,000. If you're looking at staying locally in state, but going to one of the main campuses of one of the Maryland public universities, on average, you're going to pay about $20,000 a year if you include tuition, which is the amount for classes, plus room and board. And so 4 years of that, $80,000, give or take. As Jimmy mentioned, for the first 2 years, if you were to instead be able to have the privilege to remain at home, not pay for that room and board fee, and just pay for the lower tuition amount at Montgomery College, you're already saving quite a bit. So you're looking at only about $5,000 a year for those first 2 years. But then many students do transfer to get their bachelor's degree, and many of them transfer back up to those main institutions, main campuses, and so that $20,000 kind of comes back into play for the last 2 years. If you transfer to the same program by the same university, but at the USG campus, you afford yourself the opportunity to remain where you are, to stay at home. So you are eliminating those room and board fees. The just fees to use the campus in general are going to be less at the Shady Grove campus. So while you still pay the same amount for tuition, because it's the same professors, the same classes, the same degree, you're saving in all those external fees. And so you actually can get down to about $8,000 a year at average tuition for Maryland State Universities, not factoring in scholarships. So if you assume no scholarships whatsoever, and you do your first 2 years at Montgomery College, your last 2 years in a program at USG, that number is going to be about $26,000 compared to $80,000 for 4 years at the main campus institution, when in the end, you get the same exact degree. And so that, like I said, that does not count scholarships. So I just need to plug, of course, MC has plenty of scholarships. And then also at USG, one of the neat things is you're actually eligible to get scholarships from both the USG campus as well as the university that offers your major, your main university's campus. So you actually get double scholarship opportunities. So it's rare to encounter a student who, doing that pathway, has not also lowered their price by adding on scholarship money. And I have just one additional fact that I think is really interesting to share. A study was done with the University System of Maryland, which is the public universities in Maryland. And they said that only 36% of students who transfer to a program at USG and have followed that pathway have had to borrow money for school, compared with 44% of students who transfer elsewhere, as well as freshmen at other institutions. So I think by doing that pathway, you're saving yourself so much money, plus increasing your opportunity for scholarship, that your need to borrow becomes less, which I know in these times especially is very relevant.
Great, thank you. So another question about USG is about the experience. So I'm seeing a couple of questions here about student says, will I be missing out on the college experience if I do the MC-USG option? So Mr. Nguyen, can you talk a little bit about what that experience is like?
Certainly, yeah. You will have the college experience coupled with a strong and cohesive support system at MC, including tutoring, mentoring, and participating in campus activities. Our student life department has various clubs, student leadership cohorts, and student senate, where students can be involved and be trained on many topics to gain necessary skills and experience.
Great, thank you. So what are my next steps if I'm interested in the MC-USG pathway?
Yeah, can I jump in quickly just about the USG portion of the college experience and go on there? I wanted to just jump in there because the biggest misconception that I hear is if you come to USG, you're missing out on that as well. So I just wanted to mention the things that Jimmy mentioned are also present at the USG campus. There are 80 plus student organizations, plenty of on-campus events, a gym, a library, a cafeteria. And what's really neat though is that you get all these opportunities. We only have transfer students, so you're competing with less students to get these leadership roles, which can look excellent on your resume. But you are still a student of your main university, so you also can still go up to that main campus if you want. You don't have to, and partake in events and activities there as well. So I just wanted to stress that because that's one of the biggest misconceptions that I've heard. Jimmy, if you want to mention the kind of next steps for the MC portion, and I can add them in for you.
You would start at MC with the initial application, and then go through the enrollment process, including placement tests, orientations, financial aid, counseling, registering for classes, and start researching application process at the USG early on, so you may be prepared to meet deadlines and USG specific requirements. So Jen can tell you a little bit about the process as USG.
Yeah, so you should definitely be in touch with the MC recruitment team, Jimmy included, to learn more about like the application, enrollment questions, placement tests, all of that for MC. And you're actually also welcome to connect with the program representatives for the specific universities and degree programs that you're considering at the USG campus at any time. So now, once you're at MC, whenever, they'll let you know kind of what those prerequisite courses are that you would need to take at Montgomery College to be prepared to transfer to their program at USG. They also can just tell you what their program's about. There's some programs people don't exactly understand based on the title. myself included. So it can be really helpful to chat with them to learn a little bit more at any point in time. But once you're at MC, you absolutely, in addition to connecting with your MC counselor, because they can certainly give you the next steps towards that associate's degree, which is very important, you can also, you should also at that point definitely be connected with whoever it is at the school you want to transfer to, so you can make sure you're taking the proper courses and saving the most time and money getting yourself there efficiently. We also have some special transfer access programs, we call them, that connect students with USG while they're at MC. So that's a great thing to investigate as well. And then once you approach your final year at MC, you definitely want to make sure that you're aware of the deadlines. Again, like I said, there is no USG application. You're applying to the university offering your degree at USG, and each of them has different deadlines. So you want to make sure you're aware of that so that you're getting in your materials in time to that university and you're just checking off USG as your preferred campus. The only thing additional that I did want to make sure I stressed is that when you do transfer, universities will actually only be looking at the grades that you obtained at your prior institution, so ideally at Montgomery College, not your high school grades or testing. So your high school numbers, as we covered, very important for placement, for scholarships, all of that at the Montgomery College or the lower level. But then once you transfer, it's actually what you do with that previous institution, which determines your acceptance and scholarships you'll start to get then. So you kind of get that clean slate, which can be nice for many students. So if you'd like to learn more about the USG portion, because I know we are confusing, we have a really simple website that has all of our resources. It's Shady Grove, that's shadygrove.umd.edu/USG101. So that's how you can get in touch and learn more information.
Great, thank you. A little earlier, I know Mr. Rogers had mentioned that virtual courses will continue going on throughout the fall. And I've got some questions from students about, you know, just second thoughts about what they're going to do next. So here's a question about COVID closures. It says, will COVID closures continue into next fall? If so, what should I do about going away to school? Will that be an option? So, Mr. Nguyen, can you kind of address this? And anyone else that wants to address, please feel free to also add.
Sure. Montgomery College values the health and safety of our students and our community as they are our first priority. We are continuing to evaluate the situation with the college leadership and the coronavirus advisory team to make decisions as new information regarding the pandemic and guidelines from state and local authorities come up to ensure that when students do return to campus, that they will be in a safe environment. At this time, the decision to go away to school lies with your family and you, and to determine, you know, the best option for you. But MC is here to serve if you decide to stay local. Now at MC, you can take classes online now and transition to on campus when conditions allow. You'll be earning transferable credits from award-winning faculty while staying close to home and saving money. You will save more than 50% on tuition costs compared to attending public four-year schools.
So speaking of money, I have a question here about going to college for free. Student says, I thought everyone in Maryland could go to college for free. So I wanted to see if Ms. Scott, could you address this question? I've heard this from many students and parents.
This is a misconception. There's actually a scholarship application that they would need to fill out on the MD-CAPS student account, the student portal that they would create that the Maryland Higher Education Commission has put together. So no, it's not completely true. There are some criteria that need to be met in order to qualify.
Okay, thank you. Another question about AP exams. This student says, how many AP classes should I take? Do colleges really care about this? Will they give me credit? Mr. Nguyen, can you address this?
Sure, yeah. MC accepts AP courses with test scores ranging from 3 to 5, depending on the course and what they may be transferred to college credits at MC. We have a list of AP courses and their corresponding test scores at montgomerycollege.edu. If you type in the search bar for AP scores or something like that, it would show up with that link and you can review. As far as the amount of AP courses a student can take, it really depends on solely on the student, as every student learns at a different pace.
Thank you. Yeah, that's true. So financial aid, we have several questions about financial aid. What if you are not eligible to receive federal aid? Ms. Scott, what happens then?
Well, if you're not eligible to receive federal aid, you may be eligible to receive state aid. State aid is offered by the Maryland Higher Education Commission, and the student would apply for the state grants using what's called a MISFA. Use the MD CAP account to apply for the state aid using the MISFA. They can also view and accept their awards there. And also there are some merit-based scholarships and grants that are available in that same portal.
So how do I learn about scholarship opportunities at Montgomery College?
Well, Montgomery College offers a lot of scholarship opportunities. For this first group that I'm going to talk about, they're for first-year students. They cover up to 30 credits. There's the Montgomery Scholars, there's the Board of Trustees Academic Specialty Scholarship, the Macklin Business Institute Scholarship. Those are all for first-year students. For second-year students, there's the Southern Management Leadership Grant, the Renaissance Scholars, and also, of course, the Honors Program. If you're looking for merit and need, what you would definitely want to do is the Montgomery College Foundation Scholarship. This is one application that you can find on Montgomery College's website. It's one application for over 300 scholarships, and we award over $2.5 million per year with that scholarship. There's also outside scholarships they should also look into that can be used at Montgomery. Per block is a big one, as well as some civic groups as well.
Great. Well, here's another question. When do I start applying for financial aid? Will deadlines be different due to COVID-19?
At this time, deadlines have not been adjusted due to COVID-19. You can continue on doing your financial aid applications, and we're continuing to process them. If you're just starting, you're a junior in college, then what you want to do is in your senior year, October 1st of your senior year, you're going to do the FAFSA on FAFSA.gov. Make sure it's a .gov, not .com, because you should never pay to do your FAFSA. Never ever pay to do your FAFSA. You're going to use your 2019 family tax information, and also make sure that all of your social security numbers are correct, and that you complete an FSA ID, which you can do doing the FAFSA. This ID is how you would do one for the student as well as for the parent, and that is how you would sign your FAFSA. The second part of that question is then checking the institutions that you list on the FAFSA and making sure that you access those student portals to find out what additional documents you need to turn in. For Montgomery College, you have to turn in your additional documents by March 1st. Each institution has their own priority deadline. That's our priority deadline. And then the third part of that, I would say, is, of course, going to the Maryland Higher Education site and creating your MD CAPS account so that you can view and accept your awards. Look around early April for those awards.
Great. So here's another great question. A student asked, if I am interested in a college and I'm unable to visit or meet with the college representative at my school, what can I do to get engaged with the college and show them my interest? Can anyone answer that question?
And the reality is every college and university right now is remote. And so it's a great opportunity to really dig into their websites, to communicate with key offices there, the admissions office, the student life, the libraries, all of those things. And really you can do tours virtually. And so look at the different mediums. And once you go to the traditional place, the webpage, then do things like a Facebook search or a YouTube search and see what information is out there about the institution that is being told by other people, and so that you get a different perspective about the institution beyond what the college wants you to just simply know. And it's almost like doing a site visit, because when you walk around a campus, you get to kind of meet students. And so if you're on Facebook and say a college group page, you can hear and see what students are saying about those institutions. It's going to be a little tough, but there are many students now who do their entire degree programs online. And so they don't physically step foot on campus, but yet they're still integrated with the institution by the mere fact that they're a student there and that they have the same access to a lot of the information that other students have. So for example, if there was a speaker on campus, it's usually being recorded, and you can still see and experience that speaker either live or at a later time.
Great, thank you. So Ms. Scott, I think this is a question that you can answer. Question came up that says, what happens if my children or child has an UTMA/UGMA? How will that affect us financially?
Well, that's a complicated question in that for every parent's financial situation, it's a little different. In researching that type of situation, what you want to do is consider how much income is being earned at the time that you're doing the FAFSA. So sometimes it's better for that type of savings account to be transferred to a 529 college savings account, because you can reduce the EFC by about 14%. So it really depends though, because if you're in a situation where you're retiring or the parental income is lower, sometimes what happens is the simplified needs test that's used in the FAFSA will just bypass the savings account information altogether. So it's good to talk to a financial aid representative to deal with your specific case, because everyone's case is different. Okay.
Great, thank you. So I see another question about 11th grade, the 11th grade high school year. And it says, how will colleges evaluate 11th grade? And I want to just take a moment to address this. We also addressed a lot of questions about the 11th grade year, grading and reporting, what college reps really want to see on a transcript in our first show. So if you have questions, parents and students, I would encourage you to also watch that first show. But this question, I just want to address the issue around, or the questions around, the 11th grade year, and some students are feeling uncomfortable because of COVID-19 and, this year of 2020 being an 11th grader or moving into the 11th grade year, what is that going to look like? So I want you to know that the admissions review process has always been about how you navigate your academic and personal circumstances, and it anchors on three things: academic character, how you pursue your academic interests based on the opportunities available to you. Impact and initiative is another major component, how you apply your learning to life and make an impact on the community around you. Making the match is another piece, how you see yourself interacting as a member of the college community and making the most of the opportunities at the university. While colleges will consider your experiences during this unique time, knowing the impact this virus has had on many things, from classroom learning, testing, extracurricular activities, and enrichment, you should keep in mind that the college review process takes the entirety of your high school career into consideration. So please make sure you think about that as an 11th grader, as you're moving into your senior year, making sure that you are doing those main three things, that you have that academic character, that you are looking at your impact and initiative, and then also that you're thinking about making the match. How do you see yourself in college and in the college community? So I want to just make sure, I just wanted to address that, because I know that many of our 11th graders are thinking about what's going to happen with them in their senior year and how are they going to move forward. So I wanted to make sure we address that question. All right. Well, I think that concludes our show. We've answered many important questions today. I want to thank all the panelists for their time and their expertise. You can re-watch this show and view our first episode on the Career and Counseling website. You can find those videos by going to www.montgomeryschoolsmd.org and searching the class of 2021. And to get more of your specific questions answered, please connect with your high school counselor or your college and career information coordinator. And also, to see more programming about MCPS, please consider subscribing to our MCPS-TV YouTube page. Thanks for watching, be well, and stay safe.